This is super important, and I hope you find it helpful. This is going to help listing agents and buyer's agents. So let's say you have a listing and you get an FHA offer. The biggest concern a lot of agents have on the listing side is, hey, that appraisal can come in the last day of, the day of closing, and per the amendatory clause, if the appraisal's low, the buyer gets to walk and keep their earnest money. Frustrating, scary. Do we want to sell our house to an FHA buyer? Well, 53% of buyers right now are first-time buyers. That is what is the market currently this calendar year. That means a lot more FHA buyers, right? So you're going to see a lot more FHA offers. So as a listing agent, how do you protect yourself? And as a buyer's agent, this is also something you can recommend to the listing agent to help them feel comfortable with your FHA buyer. Guys, remember, FHA loans now, the limits in most counties are almost 600,000. So a lot of potential here. So I had an agent that basically wrote in the special steps, appraisal will be ordered within 2 days of binding contract. She thought she solved the problem. Here's the problem. Nefarious seller, or buyer rather, they weren't really nice about this. So what they did is they confirmed they ordered it within 2 days, but then they never disclosed the value. They sat on the value because they weren't required to disclose that. And they kept asking the seller and the seller's agent for more stuff. We want more seller paid closing costs. We want you to fix this. We want to do that. And they kept dragging it out because they knew at this point they had the appraisal, but they don't have to terminate until the last day of the closing. So they had the seller stuck. So what do you do? So one, put in the special steps. Hey, appraisal will be ordered 2-3 days within binding contract. Confirm, follow up, make sure that happens. But also put another line in the special steps. Seller or buyer is required to disclose the value of the appraisal no later than 10 days from binding, 12 days from binding, some reasonable time, but well in advance of closing, so that your appraisal is good and there's no issues. So the way I would probably do it is I'd write in the special steps, appraisal to be ordered within 2 or 3 days, appraisal to be back within 12 to 14 days, and disclose to the seller that the value has been met and there are no repairs requested by underwriting. And that way you've got a solid appraisal and there's nothing to worry about.